Oh, anytime.
Yeah, they just talked about the lunch program and getting people to sign up on our last training call on Monday. So I can eat, I'm sure I can get you something that might be good to post on websites, have PTOs post and things like that.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, Rosalie and Linda.
Yes, I have to leave at 3:30 today too, please.
Well, I don't really have a big agenda at all. So if you guys don't have a big agenda, we might be done by 3:30. We'll see who shows up. I know Amy's coming on.
Okay.
And there's Allison. Awesome. Julia, cool. Get people. Welcome, Julia and Allison.
Day.
Mike and I were just talking about the school lunch program that throughout the state of Maine is free for all, but one of the requirements is still getting those forms in for parents to show income levels and things like that. And everybody hates to fill out a form, especially if they think they don't need to do it. So we were talking about getting that out there. And Julia is on the MSAD 17 school board. So this might be of interest to you as well.
Oh yeah, it is. Having discussions elsewhere, because universal free is amazing, but it also kind of screwed up how we fund things.
Oh, I'm waiting for Snap Ed to figure it out, because that's how we qualify schools for who we go to. And if everybody's getting free and nobody's filling out forms, it's going to be interesting. So,
Yeah.
so, but I am, welcome. We have a whole bunch of people coming on. Look at them all on the dot. So good. I am excited with the school year. We've got cool air today, which feels great. And I will be in the schools in MSED 17 schools starting the first week in October. And I see pre-K through second. My counterparts and partners in nutrition education in Oxford County, Kate Goldberg and Bill White, will be going into the northern part of the county. And actually Bill is going to Shakopee Valley this year because they haven't let us in for the last couple of years. And I'm excited to say we're back into all the nursery schools and preschools that we used to go see. So we're kind of in our new normal. So it's pretty exciting to start that. Something else I just wanted to share with everybody, two other things that I have going on is I've got an adult cooking class, a Cooking Matters class starting October 19th in Norway at Rosalie's Pantry in the Christchurch kitchen. If anybody is interested, it is open to all. And you do not need to be receiving SNAP benefits to attend the class. And in fact, it is encouraged for pantry managers and others to take the class so that you know what you might be encouraging them to take. So it's fun, it's free, it's Wednesdays from 10 to noon. So let me know, just drop me an email. I sent everybody out the flyers. Feel free to print them out or share them on your Facebook pages or wherever. I have gotten people from further afield than you might think. So even if you are further out in the county, please share. The other thing that I'm doing is a program called Cafe Club. And I know you guys may have seen the flyers on that. It is a, sorry, somebody's got a TV on or something, maybe, I don't know. That's great. So Cafe Club is a program that I started before COVID at Row. I piloted it there, and we're back at Row. And what that is community members They could be related to the children at the school. Very often they're not. They're just caring adult community members who can take a half an hour out of one of their days once a week and have lunch with a class. And the goal behind this is to increase resiliency, to increase awareness of nutrition and learning how to sit at a table and have a conversation. You would be amazed at the number of children who do not eat with anybody anymore and don't sit down and have a family meal with another adult or without a computer or a TV in front of them. And so just that experience is huge, but having somebody who's willing to take time out of their day and be with them once a week for half an hour and show that you care is huge in our effort to create strong, resilient children. So the Cafe Club is at Row. I have one for every class right now, a volunteer for every class, but we can have somebody come on another day for another class if you're interested. And we're really trying to get this at Oxford Elementary School this year. So if you are near Oxford anytime during the week, let me know. Waterford Elementary wants to do it, but we have to wait for their gym floor to be finished. I'm really not quite sure what the connection is, but apparently we need to wait for the gym floor. I know Julia had wanted to start it in Paris, but I haven't talked to the principal there. And it's really just a matter of where we can get volunteers. Norway is kind of a no-brainer with so many businesses close by, and it makes it easy. But it does not mean it is the only school in the county that can do it. So that's my plug. And it's cafe, not for having coffee, it's for cafeteria. Cafeteria club.
Paris is, I talked with her, and I'm kind of using this time now to just touch base with you on that. She's all excited, ready to go. So I'm going to send an email out, making that connection today. So just to let you.
Lori Pachowski, okay.
Yeah, she was very excited. And so I told her the things that you had told me, and yeah, she's ready to.
Okay, I'll pick up the phone and give her a call or see her. Thank you for asking, making that initial ask. So if you're around Paris Elementary School, let me know. It's really important to try to get one person for each class at least, so that there's some equity within the program. So anyway, that's
Holly,
all of my.
what this is Ben. What grades are those?
Every grade in the elementary school. So any grade at Paris or Oxford Elementary School. How I assign people or match people up with classes is, first I find out if anybody has a real preference. If they have a child in the class, we've got somebody who's going to their niece's class or their nephews or their neighbors. So if you have an actual child preference to go to their classroom, I honor those first. And then if you have, a lot of times in some schools, the kids eat at different times. So some people are better with an early lunch or a later lunch, or there's a certain day of the week that's better. So that's really where my work comes in, is organizing that. And then once it gets started, the principal at Row is going to do Zoom orientation to talk about what lunch is like now and expectations, and talking about how, discretion, and you hear a lot of things at a cafeteria that should not be repeated anywhere with anyone, to protect the privacy of the children and the people in the school. I have all the forms that go out for volunteers so that the schools can do their background check. So those go to the schools. We do an orientation, and I send a connecting email between the volunteer and the classroom teacher, and you guys work it out. How do you want to meet in the classroom? Do you want to meet in the cafeteria? My goal is to not necessarily increase the relationship between the volunteer and me, but between that volunteer and the class and the school and the teacher. So I want you guys all to talk to each other. It's not that I'm being lazy. there's a goal of, I want you all to talk to each other. I can talk to anybody, but I need everybody else to talk. So that's why I kind of do that initial email and I say, you guys figure it out. And if you're going to have to miss a week and you want to change the day of the week or whatever, or you've just got to be away, let that teacher know so they can let the kids know. The kids are incredibly understanding. They understand life happens. And if you have to miss a week or so, it's not a problem. So anybody else have any?
Well, so I couldn't do it on a regular basis, but I'd be happy to do that every once in a while if you need somebody to fill in.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for the offer. The whole goal is to have that consistency in that relationship. So I'm sure that maybe we can get you to come in and lunch for something, but for the program, it's building in that consistency that's important. It's showing up.
I understand that. That makes
it doesn't
sense.
work for everybody. And thank goodness we
Okay.
don't always have that many classes, so we don't need too many volunteers.
Great. All right, thanks.
But thank you for the offer. But yeah, the whole idea is to have that consistency. Does anybody else have any other questions about Cafe Club or Cookie Matters or anything else that I do? Okay, great. Let's hear from you guys. What is going on? Amy, you want to give us a little report out on what's going on at Good Shepherd?
Sure. So I think that the biggest thing right now going on at Good Shepherd is, again, I think that I've told you guys about our new sourcing team, purchasing foods and really taking into consideration the needs of the communities. We're trying to get more variety of foods for perhaps people who are couch surfing or people who don't have stable homes. They're called easy open. So they're pop tops, or they're food that comes in a pouch that may just have to go into the microwave. So we're really kind of thinking out of the box as far as that goes. I've had a lot of good feedback about the hygiene products that we've sourced. Those are being received very well with the partners, as well as a culturally relevant food. That's something that we're working on sourcing. It's difficult to get it locally, especially like canned vegetables and oils, and that's something that we're working on. So this sourcing group, like I've said before, is very robust. They're very right out there and wanting to listen to what the partners in the communities need. So that feedback is so important for my partners to give the feedback to me, as well as all of our partners throughout the state. So that's the biggest thing going on at Good Shepherd still. So, and Linda, I think that I responded to your awesome pictures. Yes, I did good, because I get brain fog sometimes, but I sent that to my supervisor, and just great. Thrilled.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we were
Thank
thrilled.
you.
And that was, it was a year in the making, but it's there. We're talking about our circular driveway, which is operational. And it wasn't everything. There were a few glitches, but it's much, much safer and easier.
I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait for you to come back and see it.
Hey, Linda, can you send some pictures and I'll put them in the follow-up email for people?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it while I'm on here.
You don't have to do it while you're on here. You can do it after.
Okay. My computer skills, I don't multitask well. One job at a time.
That's okay. Be present. Be focused. That's good. That's good. That's good. So, Linda, do you want to give us any other updates? Tell us what's going on up in Sweden.
We're doing. I don't know if because I missed the last couple of sessions, but we've done an open concept for shoppers. We don't limit anything now. So, well, that's not true. We limit our meats, you know, our meats and fish, and sometimes like coffee or something that has increased a lot in price. But we used to say so many on the shelf, so much on the shelf, and now it's take what you need. And it's worked out really well. I'm very pleased because it was on a trial basis. It was hard to get our old time or people who've been with us for a long time. So how many can I take? You're in a grocery store. You can take whatever you want. You know, the best thing about it is you don't have to go through checkout. So they just take what they want, and nobody abuses that. Everybody, you know, we have to actually encourage them. No, really, we mean take whatever you need. You know, stock your shelf. So, and I think I might have told you, we ended up purchasing a whole cow and turning that whole cow into a hamburger because so many people had dental issues and they didn't have the teeth to chew the steak. So it's the best hamburger ever. It's got all that steak meat and everything ground up.
Right. It's steak
Hamburger.
tartare.
Oh,
There's your
Yeah,
grab and
yeah,
go
some of-
steak tartare, Amy, with Linda's cow.
and I also ordered a egg, and both from the same gentleman, and he's local. He's in Stowe, Maine, and we're very happy with that. We were quite surprised how quickly a half a cow went. So, and we do limit that according to the size of the family. So that department is still limited, but it's gone, and we are spending a lot more of our own money now than we ever have before. And a lot of that is to get the products that we want. We haven't done TFAP for a while. We're going to start back up in October, but I understand TFAP also is going to be cutting back on the amount that they can give because they're not getting the funding from the federal level that they were getting through COVID. I have the gentleman that is the guy from Maine. He's not on here. I don't see his name.
No,
right?
but looks like Gus Nelson has joined us today. We have,
Is he
yeah.
TFAP related? Well, okay, maybe I'm just going to say that this, I think, under the circumstances and their restraints, is a perfect time to go outside the box and let maybe the people, at least in the state of Maine, order what they want. Because as Amy well knows, we get inundated, you all know, with products that our particular clientele don't use, but maybe they'd use in Southern Maine. And maybe to liberalize, or not liberalize, that's not the word, loosen the restraints a little bit. And maybe it would work better for everybody. That's my 2 cents. That's happening in Sweden.
Gus, would you like to respond?
I would love to. Thank you for having me here. My name is Gus Nelson. This is my first meeting. You may know Jimmy. Jimmy has another meeting, so I thought I'd come on here and meet everybody. So yes, I do work for TFAP, and Linda is right. Like, levels are going back to the pre-pandemic levels. So it's not good timing because we still have inflation and all that. But I would just happen to be on a call today, and Secretary Vilsack, Department of Agriculture, made a big press release. You had a lot of folks on there, but they're pumping up the system to the tune of about $1 billion. So he actually listed like where some of these funds are going to go. But I think the details are going to be weeks in the making. So I can't really share like what that means for all of us.
Do you ever
I think that, sorry,
Go ahead.
Linda.
No,
Yeah.
go ahead. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I think a lot of groups like the Good Shepherd and Feeding America, they've been advocating for more support at that level. So I think they have heard that. So
Gus,
that's
when
great.
you have the details, can you share it with me and I can share it with the group?
Oh, sure.
When you have that information,
Yeah.
that would be great.
I also heard just today that, and I don't know if it's just our area, but Hannaford will be cutting back quite a bit with their donations because they have to cut way back on their ordering. Now this is, I heard from somebody who picks up for us on our odd weeks, So
And Linda, that absolutely is a trend that I've been hearing in Oxford County specifically. I don't know. I mean, I only talked to Oxford and Andro, but there are a couple of retailers. Hannaford, Rumford is one of them that is there's definitely been a decrease in the amount of donations. And it's so difficult for the partners, for those of you who are kind of unfamiliar with that, excuse me, that program. The partners don't know what they're getting, how much they're getting. They're getting whatever is available that day for donations. So it could be one banana box, or it could be 2 truckloads. So when Linda goes in, or Rosalie goes in to get the product, if they go all that way and come back with 1 box, it's unfortunate. So, and plus they're counting on it. So it is something that Good Shepherd is well aware of. And we are trying to figure out if it's just a, short time that this will be happening. But like you said, Linda, if they're ordering less, then they're going to be donating less.
that's what it sounded like. And we haven't seen meat from them in months.
Yeah.
So
And, it also could be, as I've said before, it could be a lot of turnover, less staff at the retailers are going to perhaps have more coverage where, people going someplace where they're not usually used to going. So they may throw away the food that would normally go to you guys. That's, we as CRRs have not been able to go to the retailers for 2.5 years. So we haven't been able to go in there and really talk to them. So hopefully we are looking to start a program that will be able to spend more time with the retailers so that, Good Shepherd can advocate for you guys, and we can take, make that relationship stronger between the partners and the retailers. So that's coming. In the meantime, please keep giving that info to me so that I can share it. But it is a trend throughout the state, or through Andro Oxford anyways.
I'm going to call him Mike because I know he's got to head out in a few minutes. Mike, would you like to tell us what's going on in the schools? I know you guys are all back.
Yeah, it's been actually, before I begin, hi everyone. I hope you're all doing well. It's been a relatively busy few weeks. We had a staffing crisis that we worked through. We were able to hire a few people and plug some really large gaping holes in our staff. So we're all staffed up at Row. I'm pleased to announce, and some of you are part of the team, that we're participating in the Farm to School program, which has been really good. We're starting to form some relationships with community partners and local farmers. We're really looking forward to that. And right now there's a huge push in my department to collect free and reduced meal apps. As some of you may know, we get generous funding from the government to fund the arts programs for each of the forms that get turned in. So it's absolutely critical that we collect as many of these as possible. I've restructured our process a little bit. So I have more people involved in the processing form, so we'll know earlier on where we're at and which students' families have not returned completed meal applications, so that we can follow up with those families and encourage them to complete the forms and submit them to their school. We've seen a really good turnout so far better than last year, even with the universal free. I've been sending out messenger calls to all families in the district to inform them that that submitting these forms reduces the local tax burden. So I think that a lot of people are on board because of that. Other than that, I think those are the biggest updates.
I learned a lot from you last year, Mike. You spoke with me over the phone and informed me. I had never been informed before what those forms were about. So having children in public school systems, it was so great to be informed last year. I've been spreading the word as much as possible. I loved getting those voicemails and I was like, yes, that's great. You know, like it was great information. So thank you.
No, thank you. It's a good discussion.
Yeah, I also want to offer, I have several parent workshops going on right now with a pretty good population of parents from the SAD 17 district. If you would like at all, if you could send me a copy through email or something, I would help to facilitate with those parents if they haven't filled them out to get those in.
Yeah, I would love to. I can shoot you the blank form. It's just imperative that they return it with their student to the school because they're highly confidential forms.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I can certainly help to make that push with the families that I see.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
And Mike,
share my
if you
email.
send me a blank copy, I can send it out to everybody, and pantry managers can, when they see families coming in or know people with school age kids who are coming to their pantries, they can also encourage them.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Carl, any news? I was going to say, Carl, when Linda was talking about her open pantry concept and take what you need, that's what Carl's doing at the Stevens Memorial Hospital pantry. Would you like to talk about that at all or something else?
Yeah, I don't really have any major updates. It's just been a great summer for local produce. I'm working with a lot of local farms. I'm working with a project that Dave Bean out of the Bethel Pantry is working on. Yeah, lots of fresh produce here, and people are loving it. And yes, it's a get what you need. Some of them still, you know, when their first visit, they'll come when they're leaving. I said, show me their box or their bag. Is this okay? I'm like, I don't care what you get. It's whatever you need. Help yourself.
Well, Steve, I credit you for giving us that idea because I first heard it here on one of our Zoom meetings and then in a book that somebody had recommended, but that came from you. So thank you.
So yeah, no other major updates.
Can you talk about Dave Bean's program, and do you know what other pantries he's working with, or if he's interested in connecting with any others?
I don't think he is interested in connecting with others at this point. The program is almost over.
Right, because of the season, yeah.
I think he got the number of pantries that he needed. I'm not sure of all the ones he's working with, but us and the Progress Center in this area. Amy, you may know more than I do.
Yeah, they the other pantries, he goes as far over as Servant's Heart in Peru. So he does Andover, Old School, Servant's Heart. I'm not sure about Woodstock. But the other day, Monday, he sent me pictures of what he dropped off at Andover, and it was, you're right, Carl, it was beautiful. It was a lot of produce, and he had said that he had gone 160 miles and 5 hours. So, but he picks up from like 5 different farms, right, Carl?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of work. But the produce was beautiful.
And the joy from my perspective is I don't have to go pick it up, he delivers. And that's one of the challenges working with local farms is you got to go pick it up. At least for most of them. I am working with one other local farmer who they grow the most beautiful vegetables. They're really photogenic. They're so beautiful and they deliver. So that's been fun, but usually it's go pick it up, which is hard to fit into my schedule.
Well, Carl, let me know. We've got a truck, so maybe I can, and I'm going around. Not in the summertime as much, but I can. So let me know if you need pickups. So, Rosalie, would you like to share anything or have anything to say?
There isn't much that's different, except that we are getting more people who just need, they're, how do I want to put this? They're trying to help out with their food budget. And so we're getting a lot of singles, older people who are saying, well, I only really need coffee and meat and the things they're not getting elsewhere, eggs perhaps. So we do have a lot that they need, and I think they are taking advantage of the pantry so that they can extend their food dollars. And that's basically what's happening, I think. Yeah.
Allison, how's the diapers going?
We're going to be doing our annual diaper drive in our kickoff event with WOXO over at our office in South Paris will be on Monday, the 26th. And then all that week, the 26th through the 30th, we'll be receiving donations of diapers, wipes, any type of diaper related products, as well as cash or gift cards or whatever. So our diaper drive is going to be happening then. And
So
we'll
drop off at community concepts, not at the
Yep.
radio station. Okay.
People can, well, yes, at the radio station too. People can
Oh.
drop off there anytime throughout that week or even the week before. So you can go into Main Street, Norway to the WOXO building, or people can come find us at 17 Market Square or 8 High Street. It used to be the old press there. What was it? That was yellow printing. The building is yellow.
Park Street Press.
Park Street Press, yes, that building. So either come to that building or our brick building. We'll receive donations there. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what happens. We also do have the support of the casino as well this year. So we will be setting up a time to go see them sometime that first week of October, and they will gift us with a surprise amount of dollars. So we don't know what that will be, but super excited that we have their support.
Yeah, is that a Rebecca Bearman connection? I just found out that she's over at the casino. So
Yeah, it was a Jack Sowers connection, and now unfortunately he's not in that position any longer. But definitely Rebecca Bearman is a great person to have connections with over there.
right.
Yeah, and it is through their oh goodness, it's their neighborhood project. I can't remember the formal name of it, but it's the Give 5 Get 10, and so yeah, that's how they've been raising money throughout the year for us. There's been a couple of different times we've been on their calendar, I've heard, which was a surprise to us. We didn't know that we were on there a couple of times throughout the year. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see what comes of it this year. And once we get that in and we see what we have, we'll be able to start again with other rounds of diaper distribution.
Great. That's awesome. Anything else to share? Not diaper related?
Oh goodness. Oh, we have got some really good parent groups going on right now. Oh, and this is Miss Harmony. Welcome. Hi, mom's in a meeting, honey. So just, yeah.
Speaking of parent groups.
Yeah, speaking of parent groups, so we've got some really great parent groups going on right now, and what we've done, one that's different, is that we've added in parenting through recovery, and that happens every Tuesday all year long. And in order to get a certificate, we ask for folks to come to 15 different topics. They have to have 15 unique topics in order to get their certificate, but they're welcome to come whenever. So if they start in and it's session 7 for them, that's fine. I will keep track. And as long as they have 15 unique sessions, they can get a certificate. And we actually have a good group of about 7 right now. It meets online, and I can see a lot of support happening for the different participants. So it's really a great group.
Hey, Allison, I could do a shopping tour online. We've got it set up to do a virtual live shopping tour and help for as a Cooking Matter shopping tour, and everybody gets a $10 gift card. And I've done it remotely. So if you send me an email, let's set something up.
I would love that. And I've got a few young moms who are really looking for help with money management, and particularly when it comes to groceries. So that would be a great one.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I will have to email you about that.
That's our one-shot class. Everything else is a series, but we can do the cooking tour as a one-time thing.
Oh, good. Perfect. Thank you, Holly.
Yeah, you're welcome. Cecilia, would you like to share anything?
I don't have a whole lot to share. I think last time I may have mentioned that the Hunger Vital Signs program has moved from being managed and coordinated from underneath Healthy Education to being under the Accountable Care Organization, because they have more reach with the providers and the practices, and have access to the electronic medical record and a little bit more time and ability to help the program grow in a more sustainable way across the system. And I've checked in with the folks who are now coordinating the program a few times since the official handoff earlier in the year. And they've got some really great goals for how to work on re-engaging with our practices at CMH and then later expanding. Currently in the River Valley, let's see, it's Elsmore Dixfield that's under some construction, like the physical building. So it's merged a little bit with Swift River. And so the Elsmore Dixfield family medicine practice isn't, giving out food bags in the same way, since they're all under the Swift River physical building right now. But a part of the Rumford implementation plan, and I had conversation with the Accountable Care Organization folks when I handed it off to them, was to onboard a new department within Rumford Hospital onto the Hunger Vital Signs program. And so I haven't started those conversations yet with folks at the hospital of what department that would be. The glaringly obvious department to me would be the emergency department. But that conversation, like I said, has yet to happen. There's also some work in the plan around further re-engagement with the two practices when Elsmore Dixfield is back up and running, about re-engaging with screening, and maybe even just expanding the screening to every patient that comes in versus just patients who come in for their annual well visits, which is, I believe, what's happening right now at both of those practices. But other than that, I don't have a whole lot for updates for this group.
Thank you for being on. Ben, anything to share?
I have a question for, I forget your name, the lady that does the parenting group. Do you, is it school age children? Is it open to anybody? Is it connected with special education, or are you all inclusive?
All inclusive, so any caregiver. So it can be moms and dads, it can be grandparents, it can be foster, anyone that is a caretaker of children. And the child can be its birth all the way up,
I've met
So
a young woman who's a young mom, and she's new to the area. She lives in Waterford, and I think, how would she connect with you? Your email?
I did put my email in the chat. She could email.
Okay.
And so that could be one way. I can also put in my phone number that they can call or text. I know that some like to text, so.
Yeah, no, that would be, and did you say the meetings are on Zoom or in person or both?
Everything right now is through Zoom.
Okay, that would probably be easiest.
Yeah,
Linda, if it's hard for you to get Allison's information off the chat, I can just email them to you separately.
I actually see it right now.
Okay, you said you had limited capabilities, but apparently they are more
I
than you
did,
think.
but I took a big leap and I clicked the little button that said chat. and I'm still here.
And you're still here. That's awesome.
Okay.
This is where all the chatter goes. This is where all the kids in the back row talk. In the chat. Ben, do you have anything to share with us or anything you'd like to say other than obviously Holly is new to town, didn't know where Woodman's was on your photo? No, I don't think we've got him here. He's silent.
Were you talking to me?
I'm talking to you, yeah.
Yeah, well, you could, I was on mute. So I don't have anything to say other than I'm always impressed with the work that everyone does. And I would just remind everybody that this week is National Direct Service Providers Week. And so, so many of us know of organizations right in our area, right in the Oxford Hills area, that are desperate to find direct support providers, and that's actually a crisis across the state of Maine right now. I realize this isn't necessarily food related, but I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. And on any given day in the state of Maine, I think I have this stat right, that there's anywhere from 500 to 750 hours of direct support providers hours that are not being filled. So anyway, just keep that in mind and recognize the work that those ESP people do is really amazing and outstanding work. And there's a lot of them right in our area. So that's all I have to say.
Thanks for being on. Julia, would you like to share or say anything? She just. There you are.
I don't have too much to say that Mike wouldn't really cover. I do really appreciate hearing from this group and understanding, what's going on. But to go on the Maine Farm and Sea to School, of which Mike and Carl are a part of, it's a real big effort that we're doing here. And the Snap Ed Cafe part really hits upon, not only is it about food and our relationship to food, but it's about creating environments like our cafeterias to be warm and inviting for students, and to really really value what our students go through and the community in which they live, and just trying to create spaces that are, kind of conducive to where they are in their struggles and what that means for them mentally, what that means for their mental and physical health. And so, with Holly, your work really does a lot to change the community aspect in the cafeteria. And we're really excited this year to be working with that, and just really appreciative of this group.
Yeah, I know we only had 11 on here today, but I am very aware of many people who listen to our recordings. So today was chock full of information about a lot of stuff. So I've been taking notes to put in my follow-up email. Mike's already sent the free and reduced meal application to me. Allison, can you send me a little blurb or something on the diapers just so I get the information correct? I really appreciate it. And Gus, when you have information from TFAP, let us know. And we'd love to have you on again. We love Jimmy, but we like them all. Linda, you're always so well informed. I'm so impressed. Because I know you have terrible internet, so I don't know where you get your news from. But
I'm surprised I'm still here because it was lousy this morning, but
yeah, you're nice and clear. So if anybody, does anybody else have anything? Does anybody have any surplus? Does anybody need anything? It's been amazing how much equipment has transferred within this group and how many pounds of pork and fish and all kinds of stuff have transferred. So, you know, let me know. The calendar is still going out. We've actually had some meal sites added on to the calendar. So that's kind of cool that other people are getting comfortable. And it's interesting. Some of them are now meals in person and back to having a meal together, which just like Julia talked about for the kids, it's incredibly important for the adults. It's, you know, having that connection. And I know a lot of you who are in pantries may be that connection for those people. So it's really important to see your smiling, warm faces.
we had a couple that stopped by for just the meal one time at the pantry, and we had run out. And so, but we invited him in to shop. So he shopped, and now he's a regular shopper. He and his wife come every time, and they're so nice. They're over your way. I don't remember the town, but that was one way that just coming for a meal got them connected with us, and they're comfortable, and that's a good thing.
You know, it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. It is very hard to scrape up the courage to say, I need help. And to be welcomed and greeted so cheerfully, and to say, this is what we're here for, whatever you need is huge. So thank you all for what you do.
And I have just one question about your cafeteria. They
Sure.
actually two questions. One, have you ever reached out to SAD 72 in the Freiburg district?
I have not. I don't really have I don't go to those schools, so I don't have a relationship with them out there. There's no reason why any school could not do this. It is so simple. It is free. It is just connecting a volunteer to a classroom and encouraging people to, you know, and these volunteers are all like, what am I going to say? And I'm like, you pretty much don't need to say anything. The kids are dying to have somebody to listen to them. And
I'm just wondering, maybe the cafeterias have changed since I retired, but it would be, are they all round tables now so you can actually have a conversation? Are you all along that great big long table, which as a person who used to monitor the cafeteria, the volume is intense.
It is intense. And you know, they are at Row, they're long, and it's at Paris, they're round. I think they were round there. So they vary. And one of the reasons why I want the volunteers to try to come every week is so they can sit with different kids. It's not reasonable for them to talk to all 20 kids at once. No one expects that. So it's, you know, I'm going to be with these 4 this time, and next time I'm going to be down there and looking for the quiet ones, and, you know, to kind of draw them out. So it really varies. It would vary by the school and the setup. It varies by the age group of the kids. I have a lot of I had volunteers writing me in August saying, are we finally going to be able to come back? So I can tell you that the volunteers get as much out of this program as the kids. And the principal wrote me asking if we could start it again because it makes it a much more pleasant environment with an extra adult actually sitting with the kids, they're not monitors. We're not policemen.
Right.
They are actually just sitting with the kids and having lunch. And it changes what it's like to be an adult there. And it hopefully makes it more pleasant for everyone. So,
great. Thank you.
No-brainer. But somebody had to think of it. So. Anything else, anybody? Well, thank you all so much for coming on. Send me any calendar changes. Allison's going to send me stuff, and I'm gonna put out an update because I know there are many people who look for this call, even though they can't be on it. So thank you so much for being here and for all you do. And go out and enjoy some sunshine. Go take a walk.
Thank you.
Thanks, Holly.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Carry on.